In the far reaches of the galaxy, the stars shone dimly against a backdrop of chaos. The Federation of Worlds, once a beacon of hope and progress, had fractured into a labyrinth of warring factions. Diplomatic ties had dissolved, and the promise of cooperation was overshadowed by mistrust and greed. Each faction claimed its territory with force, and the galaxy's inhabitants, weary of conflict, had lost faith in the ideals that once united them. Captain Alina Voss was a skilled navigator, known for her uncanny ability to chart courses through the most treacherous space routes. She operated from the decrepit ship, the Starwind, which had seen better days but was a testament to her resourcefulness. While scavenging for supplies on the desolate moon of Varanthia, she stumbled upon a crumbling data core buried beneath layers of rock and dust. Its holographic interface flickered to life, revealing an ancient star map that pulsed with energy. It was a forgotten relic, one that hinted at the existence of the star compass, a legendary artifact believed to possess the ability to connect the fragmented systems through long-lost jump gates. As Alina deciphered the star map, her heart raced with excitement. The potential of reuniting the fractured worlds ignited a fire within her. She realized that if the star compass could be found and restored, it might allow the factions to reconnect, fostering hope for a new era of peace. But she was not the only one seeking this powerful relic. Whispers of her discovery spread quickly, and soon, agents from various factions were hunting her down, each eager to claim the star compass for their own ambitions. Determined to reach the compass first, Alina knew she needed a crew. The cosmos was vast, filled with those who had lost everything to the ongoing wars, but it also held individuals who yearned for change. Her first recruit was Tarek, a disgraced pilot from the Orion Alliance. He had once flown with honor, but had been branded a traitor for opposing the faction's ruthless methods. His expertise in navigating through hostile territories would be invaluable, but his dark past brought its own set of complications. Next, Alina sought out Mira, a brilliant engineer with a knack for repurposing discarded technology. She had spent her life scavenging through the ruins of old space stations, piecing together machines that could barely hold together. Mira's sharp wit and irreverent humor lightened the atmosphere aboard the Starwind, yet her stubbornness often led to clashes with Tarek. Despite their differences, the crew's banter forged a bond that would prove essential as they ventured deeper into the unknown. Their final crew member was a wise alien diplomat named Selthar, a member of a nearly extinct race that had once served as peacekeepers in the galaxy. He possessed ancient knowledge and perspective that transcended the petty squabbles of the factions. Zelthar's calm demeanor and thoughtful insights were a grounding force amid the turmoil, reminding the crew of their ultimate goal, to reunite the galaxy. With a crew assembled and the first fragment of the star compass located, Alina prepared the Starwind for departure. As they launched into the depths of space, the ship's engines roared to life, carrying them toward their destiny. The stars twinkled above, whispering promises of adventure and danger. In the silence of the void, Alina gazed at the swirling nebulae, each a reminder of the world's longing to be connected. The journey to uncover the truth behind the star compass was just beginning, and the hope of rekindling the flame of unity pulsed through her veins, driving her forward into the unknown. With the Starwind hurtling through the void, Alina Voss and her crew set their sights on the first destination indicated by the ancient star map, the long-abandoned mining planet of Grathos. Once a thriving hub for mineral extraction, Grathos now lay desolate, shrouded in the toxic remnants of its former glory. It was said that the first fragment of the star compass was hidden within the depths of the planet's ruins, guarded by an ancient AI designed to protect its secrets. As they approached Grathos, the atmosphere thickened with an unsettling tension. Tarek piloted the ship through the crumbling orbital structures, remnants of the planet's industrious past. With his keen eyes, he spotted incoming ships on their radar, two sleek vessels marked with the insignia of the Serpent Syndicate, a notorious faction known for its ruthlessness in the pursuit of power. They were not here for mining, they were hunting for Elena. "Hold tight," Tarek barked, steering the ship into a narrow alley between derelict satellites. The crew braced themselves as the Starwind dodged debris and spun through the treacherous wreckage. Mira, manning the ship's weapon systems, prepared for a fight. Her fingers danced over the controls as she powered up the laser cannons. "Let's give them a warm welcome," she said with a sly grin. As the Syndicate ships pursued, their cannons lit up the darkness, sending bolts of energy slicing through the void. Tarek maneuvered with precision, dodging blasts and returning fire. The sound of explosions reverberated within the ship, mixing with the adrenaline-fueled shouts of the crew. Amidst the chaos, Elena felt a rush of determination. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for a cause that could change the fate of the galaxy. In a daring move, Tarek executed a tight barrel roll, causing one of the pursuing ships to crash into a nearby satellite. The resulting explosion lit up the darkness, illuminating the Starwind as they made their way toward the surface. The second ship fell back, regrouping and preparing for a tactical strike. Elena's heart raced as they landed on the cracked surface of Grathos, dust swirling around them. The crew hurriedly disembarked, weapons at the ready. As they navigated the dilapidated structures, they stumbled upon a hidden entrance leading to the planet's underground facilities. The air was stale, filled with the scent of rust and decay. Deep within the bowels of the planet, they found the ancient AI, a towering construct pulsating with blue light. Its voice resonated through the chamber, a blend of authority and wisdom. It challenged them to answer riddles that tested their knowledge of the galaxy's history and the bonds that once held it together. The crew worked together, each member contributing their unique insights, demonstrating the strength of their alliance. With a final clever answer, the AI granted them access to the first fragment of the star compass. Just as they secured the fragment, the second Syndicate ship landed outside, its crew descending with weapons drawn. Tarek led the charge, engaging them in a fierce firefight. Mira's quick thinking saved them when she activated the facility's old defense systems, unleashing automated turrets that turned the tide of battle. Amid the chaos, Selthar stepped forward, his voice calm and commanding. He implored the Syndicate members to reconsider their actions, appealing to their sense of humanity. His words momentarily halted the fight, creating a brief window of uncertainty. With the A's help, Elena and her crew escaped the underground facility, securing the first piece of the star compass. They fled back to the Starwind as the Syndicate regrouped, their resolve hardening. Elena knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was filled with those who would stop at nothing to obtain the star compass, but she had allies now, friends willing to fight for a shared vision. The road ahead would be fraught with challenges, yet Elena felt a glimmer of hope. Together, they could reunite the fragmented stars. With the first fragment of the star compass safely in their possession, Elena and her crew of the Starwind charted a course to the second location marked on the ancient map, the lush jungle planet of Varelia. This vibrant world was rich with resources and ancient ruins, but it was also a battleground for rival factions seeking to control its treasures. The crew knew they had to tread carefully, as Varelia had a reputation for being both beautiful and deadly. As they descended into the planet's atmosphere, a breathtaking panorama unfolded below, a riot of green foliage punctuated by towering trees and cascading waterfalls. However, the beauty masked the peril that lay ahead. Elena could see smoke rising from various locations, evidence of skirmishes between faction forces. She sensed that finding the next fragment would not be as simple as retrieving the last. Once they landed, the crew quickly donned their gear, prepared for the potential dangers of the jungle. Zelthar took the lead, using his knowledge of the flora and fauna to guide them through the dense undergrowth. As they made their way deeper into the jungle, they encountered remnants of ancient civilizations, ruined temples covered in vines, their carvings telling stories of unity and peace long forgotten. As they explored, they stumbled upon a group of locals caught in a violent confrontation between two factions. The villagers, desperate and frightened, were being exploited for their resources. The crew hesitated, torn between their mission and the urgent need to intervene. Alina felt a surge of responsibility. They could not just be passive observers in this war. They had to stand up for those who could not defend themselves. Mira and Tarek exchanged glances, both sensing Alina's resolve. They devised a plan to distract the opposing factions, allowing the villagers to escape while they secured the next piece of the star compass. With Zelthar's diplomatic skills, they reached out to the villagers, gaining their trust. Armed with improvised weapons and newfound determination, the villagers joined forces with Alina's crew. The battle was fierce. Tarek's piloting skills allowed them to outmaneuver the attacking factions, while Mira's engineering prowess enabled them to rig traps and ambushes within the jungle. Zelthar coordinated the villagers, encouraging them to reclaim their home. Together, they fought valiantly, and amidst the chaos, they managed to drive the rival factions away. With the area cleared, the crew and villagers approached the ruins of an ancient temple believed to house the second fragment. As they explored the crumbling structure, they discovered inscriptions detailing the origins of the star compass and the ancient peoples who once used it to maintain peace. The temple itself seemed to pulse with energy, as if resonating with the very essence of unity that had once prevailed. However, their victory was short-lived. The opposing factions returned, now emboldened and better equipped. They had realized the loss of their forces and were determined to reclaim their hold on Varelia. The crew prepared for another confrontation, but this time they were not just fighting for themselves, they were fighting alongside the villagers. In a climactic battle, the combined forces of Alina's crew and the villagers faced the faction soldiers. As they fought, Alina shouted words of encouragement, urging everyone to remember why they were fighting. The clash of weapons echoed through the jungle, but amidst the chaos, a realization began to dawn. Unity was their greatest strength. In a desperate bid, Alina and her crew finally reached the inner sanctum of the temple, where the second fragment of the star compass lay hidden. As Alina grasped the fragment, a surge of energy enveloped her, and she felt an unbreakable bond form between her crew, and the villagers. They were all connected by a shared purpose, and in that moment, the lines between factions blurred. With the fragment secured, they rallied together, turning the tide of the battle. Their combined resolve shattered the enemy's ranks, forcing them to retreat. As the dust settled, Alina stood with her crew and their new allies, a sense of triumph washing over them. They had not only secured another piece of the star compass, but had also forged a powerful alliance, reminding them that their journey was about more than just artifacts. It was about the strength found in unity. With two fragments of the star compass in hand and their alliance with the villagers of Varelia strengthened, Alina and her crew returned to the Starwind, spirits high. However, the tension within the group began to fester. Tarek, haunted by his past and the guilt of his betrayal to the Orion Alliance, grew increasingly restless. He felt the weight of his decisions pulling him back into the shadows of his former life, and doubts began to cloud his judgment. As the crew plotted their next destination, a remote asteroid belt known for its rich deposits of rare minerals and rumored treasures, Tarek's internal struggle reached a boiling point. During their discussions, he grew frustrated with Zelthar's idealistic views on unity and cooperation. Tarek had seen the brutality of the factions firsthand and questioned whether they could truly overcome the deep-seated animosities that had plagued the galaxy for centuries. "You can't just wish for unity," he snapped, slamming his fist on the table. "People are dying out there. We need to be ready to fight, to take what we need." Mira, who had come to admire Tarek's skills, but also his flaws, stepped in. And how do you propose we do that? By becoming the very thing we're fighting against. We're not just scavengers or mercenaries, we are something more now. The argument hung heavy in the air, and Elena felt the rift widening. Zelthar, always the diplomat, attempted to mediate, but his calm words only seemed to fuel Tarek's anger. With each passing moment, the crew's once unbreakable bond began to fray. Unbeknownst to them, the warlord spies had been monitoring their every move, and Tarek's outburst had drawn unwanted attention. As they neared the asteroid belt, a fleet of Syndicate ships descended upon them, more formidable than before. The crew scrambled to prepare for battle, but tension lingered as they took their positions. During the skirmish, Tarek's focus faltered. He hesitated when the Syndicate fired on the Starwind, and his shipmates noticed. "Tarek, get your head in the game," Elena shouted as she maneuvered the ship to avoid incoming fire. His internal conflict manifested in their strategy, leading to miscommunication and narrow misses. As the battle raged, Mira fought alongside Zelthar, firing weapons with precision, while Elena struggled to keep the ship stable. Yet Tarek's hesitance continued to jeopardize their safety. Finally, during a critical moment, he was given the opportunity to take down a pursuing Syndicate ship, but failed to pull the trigger, causing it to evade and reposition for a counterattack. "Why are you holding back?" Mira yelled as she worked the controls, sweat beading on her forehead. "We need you." Tarek's anger boiled over, and in a fit of rage, he left his post, accusing them all of being naive. He stormed to the cargo hold, where the second fragment of the star compass lay, still vibrating with energy. Elena, realizing the gravity of the situation, followed him. "Tarek, we need to talk. This isn't you." But his gaze hardened. "You don't understand. You talk about unity, but what if it's just a fantasy? What if we can't achieve it?" In that moment of vulnerability, Elena confronted him with a truth she had been holding back. "You're right to question it. But the answer lies not in despair, it lies in what we choose to do together. We can't give up." Suddenly, the ship jolted as a blast rocked its hull. The Syndicate had regrouped and was closing in. The urgency of the battle broke through Tarek's despair, forcing him to make a choice. He could either succumb to his fears or embrace the camaraderie that had formed with Elena, Mira, and Zelthar. With the ship shaking around them, Tarek took a deep breath, finally allowing the weight of his decisions to settle. He returned to the cockpit, determination replacing doubt. "Let's finish this," he declared, rejoining his crew with renewed vigor. As they battled together against the Syndicate forces, the crew fought not only for their lives, but for their vision of unity. Tarek's actions transformed from hesitation to fierce determination, and together, they overcame the enemy. Their shared struggle solidified their bond, reminding them all that even in the darkest moments, unity was their greatest weapon against the chaos of the galaxy. The remnants of the Syndicate fleet lay scattered in the asteroid belt, debris drifting silently among the rocks. The crew of the Starwind emerged victorious, but their victory was bittersweet. As they took stock of their situation, the reality of their mission weighed heavily on them. They had the second fragment of the star compass, but the fight was far from over. With the warlord's forces still lurking in the shadows, Elena knew that they needed to press forward. Their next destination was the ancient capital of the Federation, a derelict space station known as Varenthia Prime. Rumors spoke of the last remaining piece of the star compass, hidden within its labyrinthine depths. The crew gathered around the holographic map, tension mixed with anticipation as they plotted their course. As the Starwind glided through the blackness of space, Elena felt a sense of resolve. They had battled internal strife and external threats, yet each challenge had forged their unity into something more profound. She turned to her crew, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the console. "This is it. Once we have the final piece, we can activate the star compass and uncover the hidden jump gates. We can start the journey toward reconnecting the fractured worlds. The mood shifted as they approached Varanthia Prime, its massive structure looming before them, a ghostly reminder of a forgotten era. Once a center of trade and diplomacy, it now lay in ruins, overtaken by time and neglect. They landed in a hangar that echoed with memories, the air thick with the scent of rust and decay. As they disembarked, Zelthar sensed the lingering energy of the station. There is history here, echoes of the past. We must be mindful of its power, he advised. The crew moved cautiously, navigating through the crumbling corridors where whispers of former alliances lingered like specters. Their search led them to the central chamber, a grand hall adorned with faded murals depicting the unity of the Federation. In the center stood a pedestal, upon which the final piece of the star compass rested, radiating a soft, pulsing light. Elena approached, her heart pounding with anticipation. As she reached out to grasp the fragment, a surge of energy coursed through her, igniting a connection with the other two pieces. But before they could celebrate their discovery, a familiar voice echoed through the chamber. The warlord stepped into view, flanked by a battalion of armed guards. "You've come far, Captain Voss, but this is where your journey ends." Elena stood firm, the fragments of the star compass shimmering in her grasp. "You can't control what you don't understand. The power of the star compass isn't yours to wield." The warlord sneered, "You're naive if you think unity can conquer power. This galaxy is built on strength, and I will not let you disrupt my plans." As the guards advanced, Elena signaled her crew, who took their positions, ready for the fight. Tarek stepped forward, channeling his anger and determination. "We fought too hard to let you take it from us." The ensuing battle erupted in a storm of chaos and energy. The crew fought valiantly, combining their strengths. Zelthar's strategic mind guided their movements, while Mira's ingenuity turned the station's defenses against the warlord's forces. As they fought, Elena activated the star compass, its energy radiating through the hull and filling them with hope. In a climactic moment, the warlord, driven by desperation, lunged for the fragments. But Tarek intercepted him, their struggle intensifying as Elena felt the power of the star compass surge within her. She saw visions of a united galaxy, vibrant and thriving, the memories of the Federation coming to life in her mind. With one final push, Tarek knocked the warlord back, allowing Elena to channel the energy of the star compass. A brilliant beam of light erupted from the fragments, illuminating the chamber and enveloping them all. The warlord staggered, his ambition shattered in the face of Unity's true power. As the light faded, Elena stood amidst her crew, the warlord retreating into the shadows, defeated. The star compass now pulsed with energy, revealing the hidden jump gates across the galaxy. Together, they had not only secured the relic, but had also forged an unbreakable bond through their shared trials. The journey ahead would be long and fraught with challenges, but as they gazed into the stars, Elena felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were no longer just a crew. They were the torchbearers of hope, united in their quest to bring the galaxy together. With the star compass leading the way, they set a course for the first jump gate, ready to reclaim the future they all believed in. As the star wind soared into the void, a new dawn broke on the horizon, a dawn of unity, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of humanity.